What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to another episode of Horseshoe Pride. I don't even know what episode this is, but all I know is we are heading into week 8 of the NFL football season. The Colts are 3-4, and guess what? Only a few more days into the trade deadline, and it's are we going to be buyers or sellers, man? Like we don't know yet. I think we find out tomorrow. But let's go ahead and get into the episode. Chip, boom, what's up? The whole crew ain't here today, but it's
Yeah,
okay. What's up
we
with y'all, man?
we lightweight tonight, but hey, everything is all good. Notre Dame won.
Boo.
IU kind of thought, IU act like they was gonna do something, and then resorted to doing IU things. Um, Outside of that, man, I mean, I didn't get to watch the U. I didn't get to watch that game today, so I
Hey,
didn't get
just
to
don't
follow up
worry.
on
We took care of business. It was giving me a heart attack a little bit, but we took care of business, man.
it. Yeah, outside of them, and
What's up,
maybe
Sarah?
my Pacers winning tonight, man. It's
Yeah,
all
my
good.
heat are playing right now, so that's good to see. What's up, Chip?
Not too much.
We getting
We're,
smoked.
we're what's that?
No, I'm talking about the Miami Heat. We getting smoked right now.
We're in the middle of scary movie marathon, so let the
Oh,
girl
man.
watch Scream for the first time tonight.
Oh, nice, nice. The old Scream, right? Not like the new
No,
one
yeah,
yet.
the original.
Okay. Nice, nice.
What are they on? Like Scream 18 now?
Seems like it.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Them and Fast and the Furious and the Saw. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, the
So,
Saw
so
movies they keep making those.
yeah.
you guys know me. I don't do well with suspension of disbelief, so that's not my favorite genre. But uh, watching it for them.
I love horror movies, man. So I love this time of the year when all the horror movie stuff. The only thing I hate is when the crazies come out because then just don't break in my house. We cool. You can keep your life. Like just don't break into my house.
So you are all about Week 7 in the NFL then. You like horror movies.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, let's talk about it, man. Let's get to it because we just came off of a game versus the Cleveland Browns. And we're not going to talk too much into the game. What I will say is, if y'all want to hear our recap on the game, join the PSF app. We do our game recaps on there every Tuesday, and we do a live game show on Sundays during the game. So be sure to tap into that tomorrow. The link will be in the description on the YouTube channel. But yeah, tap into the PSF app. And just tap in with us. We got it's a little Colts community in there, and we're just trying to build it, man. Trying to get it going, especially for the rest of the season and then next season if things go right.
You
Um,
want unfiltered us? That's the way to do it.
yeah, if you want unfiltered us, then go to the PSF app for sure.
For
Uh,
sure.
but we just came off of a nail biter against the Cleveland Browns. Um, and we got to talk about it because the past 2 weeks that Gardner Minshew has been the starter, he's had 8 giveaways. He had, what was it, 4 or 3 interceptions and a fumble against the Jaguars, and then this game he had 3 fumbles and an interception against the Browns. Um, One of the fumbles resulted into a touchdown. The other one, I believe, was a field goal. And then we had the one at the end of the game. And I don't know if the interception resulted into anything, but that might have been a field goal or something. I don't know. All I know is we've given up about
37
30.
points off of turnovers in
There
two
we go.
games.
We've given up around 37 points off of turnovers. So, how do y'all feel about these Gardner Minshew turnovers? I know how I feel, but I want to know, you know, how you feeling, Chip and Boom.
What you got, Boom?
Man, it's like if he was just be efficient and not turn the ball over, we're probably looking at what, maybe 5-2, you know, and atop the AFC South. We probably could have probably been maybe 6-1, or something like that. But man, he just play under control. Hey, next play type stuff. If it's not there, it's just not there. Like, don't force the pass. We don't need you to be that guy to force the pass. Like, we need you to just be a game manager. If the player's open, get that ball out there. If y'all got that type of chemistry and you have, the IQ of just, knowing where that player's going to be at before he'll be there, and, he'll get open, just, then do that. But I need him to honestly, have those pre-snap reads, because those are what's hurting him right now. Just going up to the line of scrimmage and, doing a regular cadence and not actually looking at the coverage and seeing the defense and visualizing where they're going to be at before the snap, well, after the snap, that kind of hurts him, because he might be looking for his first option and he really wants to get it to his third. And by the time he's going through his reads, I mean, it's, that third option is already closed. So, and then he's trying to force the pass, or it's going to end up in a sack. And I need him to hold on to that ball a little bit tighter, man, because he definitely loves getting strip sacked.
Yeah, some of those, like even the first, and actually the two fumbles resulted in touchdowns, and the interception resulted in field goal. But even the fumble with I think the first fumble, I think Myles Garrett just like hit his arm, or he was already fumbling with the ball when he got hit. And it's just like, bro, if you just hold on to the ball, we keep possession, and maybe we get the first down eventually, or something. But at least we keep the possession, and we can dictate what happens with the ball after that. Like, we either punt it away, we get a first down, and we continue driving, whatever. But you gave them the ball on their side of the field and stop one of our drives. What about you, Chip?
So to add insult to injury, you all saw that chart got posted on Twitter yesterday, I think, of EPA or EPA above average against perfect coverage.
Yeah.
And basically Anthony Richardson
is amazing.
Has faced the most perfect coverage, and he's the third best overall quarterback in EPA in that situation. So really,
and that's only behind who is it?
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, and Pat Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes. Just makes you miss him all that more, and realize that Gardner Minshew's a QB2. And it's frustrating to watch, but this is who he is. He gives and he takes away. He had 4 turnovers, but he also was responsible for 4 touchdowns. And that's kind of what you're going to get with Minshew. Maybe Steichen can work his magic and clean that up a little bit. If he does, they're going to be in really good shape.
And for those of you that did not see it, here's the chart that
you got it.
Yeah, I went and got it just now. That Chip was talking about.
So
here's Gardner Minshew right here.
Yeah. So he's not facing as much, but he's also one of the worst in the league at dealing with it.
Yeah.
But that's who he is. That's why he's a QB2. So it's frustrating to see the turnovers, but our backup quarterback's playing for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And I don't know that he's going to significantly improve. Hopefully, Steichen can work on something on the ball control issues, at least. Because if the Colts had even extended one of those 4 drives Sunday, then the Browns don't have enough time on the clock for all of the nonsense that happened at the end of the game, because the clock would have run out. Even if they don't put any more points on the board, they win the clock battle.
Yeah, that's a fact. Because for the most part, we played a pretty solid game. We was able to not control the clock, but JT looked like he was coming back into form. He had like 120 total yards from scrimmage. He had a touchdown. Zach Moss still doing Zach Moss things. And then Josh Downs, I feel, had his breakout game. He had over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Michael Pittman had the long touchdown run, or reception, I should say.
The Colts had the ball for 32 and a half minutes. The Browns had the ball for 27 and a half minutes. So even with losing the turnover battle as badly as they did still control the clock.
And the thing is I know we point at, the last 2 plays, which they were horrendous plays by the referees. But there's a lot of other things we could have done in that game that would have kept us from getting to that point.
Block Myles
Garrett. There's just a bunch of different things. The turnovers, and for sure, like, you don't turn over the ball, you likely don't get into that position to where you're in a tight game at the end of the game. So there's a bunch of different things we could have done, up to that point. But it is what it is. We're on to week 8, and now we have the New Orleans Saints
Who
that come
don't
to the.
or Miles Garrett,
You said what, Chip?
who don't have Aaron Donald or Miles
Yeah,
Garrett.
you don't have Aaron Donald, you don't have Miles Garrett, you don't have Josh Allen. Which that brings me to just the point of the reason we bring that up is because Blake Freeland has been starting at either left tackle or right tackle the past 3 weeks. And
Trial by fire.
he's been through the ringer already. You got Josh Allen, you get Aaron Donald, you get Miles Garrett. Now you go up against a little bit of a lesser pass rush, I should say, because we get to the injury report, and well, you got Juju that's out, you got Kylan Granson that's out, and you have our right tackle and Braden Smith who will be out of this game. So now you have he's going to be starting again, Blake Freeland. So that's that's going to be what it is. But let's talk about Juju Brents, man. He went out with a quad injury against the Browns, and now this is where we go with beef with Ballard or Bradley, or beef with Ballard and Bradley. Like either one. But for me, the beef is with Ballard because he has not addressed the cornerback position. I understand, we had a corner that we let go because of the gambling situation. Then we had a corner in Dallas Flowers who tore his Achilles, who was playing, pretty damn good throughout the season, but unfortunately he went out with that injury. But now Juju and Jalen Jones have been playing extremely well for rookies. A 7th round pick and a 2nd round pick. They've been playing extremely well. But now Juju is probably going to miss a few games, maybe 1 or 2 games. And Darrell Baker Jr. And I don't mean to excuse my language. I don't mean to shit on him, at every chance I get, but he makes it hard, bro. Like, he played really well in preseason. He had all these highlights coming out of camp and everything. And then we get into the regular season, and it's like, where did this Darrell Baker go? Like, where is he at? Because he's constantly getting beat. We saw it even this week. He got beat and it probably was the cover 2 that we was in, but he got beat because there was nobody threatening his zone, and instead of carrying the receiver further back, he just sat, and he didn't need to do that. And that's what led to that drive. Sparking that drive, getting downfield.
Do
So
you
how
see
do y'all
that being
feel
correctable though? Are those major things, or are those little things that with some film time that they can actually correct him?
I feel like if you haven't corrected it now in week 8 or week 7, 7 weeks into the season, you're probably not going to correct it. I feel like this is, and I mean, I forget how long he's been in the league, but I feel like this is something like he should know. Like, he should know at this point. So
he had preseason.
He had preseason. He's been healthy through camp. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, how have you not? Like, how do you not know how to do this?
What scheme did he play before?
You said what?
Was that Boom?
No, I was saying go ahead.
Oh, what scheme did he play before?
I don't remember, but I do believe he was with the Cardinals before he came to us. I could be wrong, but I'm going to look at it right now. Oh no, he's been in Indy the whole time. So I don't know. I mean, he's been in our defense, so it's like there's no way he had only been with us because he
had
came
to be
out
somewhere else.
Yeah, I want to say he was. I really feel like he was with the Cardinals, but I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, he was with the Cardinals in 2022. He's on their practice squad. We picked him up. So yeah, I mean that's where he was before, and then he's been on our team since last year. So it's not like he's new to the scheme. He's been in the scheme. It's just I don't know.
But was he on the scout team?
Last year he probably was.
And I'm kind of playing devil's advocate here, but we've certainly had our complaints with the scheme, especially the defensive secondary. So maybe you're completely right, and he's just not the right guy for the job. Maybe part of it is the scheme and some correctable things. I don't know. I'm the optimist of the group, I guess.
Yeah, because I was going to say my thing is when you have 2 rookies who have never played in this scheme come in and perform at a higher level than you or than him, to me it feels like he's just not good.
And you got to
Um,
think Jalen. He had to beat out a couple corners to start, so he caught on quick. And then it's like Juju, he had his rough patch here and there, but he's caught on quick. But Daryl, I mean, he's been him and Dallas were the starters from the get go.
and
So
Dallas has played well. So that, I mean, and that's the thing too. Like Dallas played well up into the injury. So it's my thing is when you have what is it now, three corners that have played in your position out, outside corner, have played ran in the same scheme, and they have been better than you in the time that they've gotten it. To me, it feels like a lot like Brandon Faison last year. Where Brandon Faison, he just was not good. He just wasn't
nah,
good. And I mean, it sucks because I know the work that players put in to perfect their craft and everything. So it sucks to have to like kind of be like you suck because to get to that level you don't really suck. You know what I mean? Like to get to that level you don't suck as a player, but at the same time you're not getting it done to the level that needs to be done to remain as a starter. In my
That was
opinion,
true of Rock Yassin too
yeah,
early on.
Rock.
He developed.
Yeah, Rock developed for sure, and I mean Rock is playing amazing in Baltimore. So I mean I don't know. Like I just feel like when you have two rookies come in, you have another corner that's out there doing his thing before injury. It's just hard for me to say like it's the scheme. I know there's some issues with the scheme, but my issues with the scheme are mainly over the middle of the field rather than the outside.
I know it's
Yeah,
on your mind though, because you're thinking about calling up Lamons to be on the other side of Baker
and
this week,
that
and what
right there,
that's
oh
going to look
my
like.
Jesus!
that's
No, well, no,
scary.
Jalen Jones, I think is going to be the number one, but I think
Yeah,
it's going to
yeah, he's
be
number one.
between Baker and Lamons on the opposite side, and I'm just like, yo, nah, ain't no way, ain't
But
no way.
what you also got to think is, our teams going to, okay? For instance, like with New Orleans, Michael Thomas, he's questionable because of an illness.
Yeah,
But they also got, what's the kid's name? Rashid. I forgot what his last name is, but
Rashid
what's his first name?
Shaheed, the fast
Yeah.
dude, yeah,
And you still have Chris Olave, and you also have Alvin Kamara. He'll come out the backfield also. And it's like, okay, if they're looking at our depth at corner, are they going to be looking to run a lot of four wides? You know, running a four wide scheme, you kind of are going to pick on whoever that fourth corner is, because you're not going to go after Kenny, and that fourth corner is going to most likely be Layman's. So are you going to target him? You know, it's a lot. And I mean, Derek Carr, he's a decent QB. I give him his IQ, and it's like, he's playing a little injured right now. But Gus is going to have to, like I've been saying all season, he's going to have to make it exotic. He has to play to the talents of what we have at that corner spot, because we're really banged up right now. So
that's a good question. Like, is Amir Speed going to play, and if so, like, how much could he possibly play in this game? I mean, he's another, I think, rookie corner. 6'3", ran like a 4.4, 4.3 40, something like that. So like he got speed. I haven't seen much of him. I don't really know how good he is or how good he isn't or whatever. So I really don't know. I don't know how much he's gonna play. I don't even know if he's gonna be active tomorrow. I guess we'll see in the morning. Um, I would have thought he probably would have got a chance over Lamons, but I don't. I really don't know. Maybe they move Kenny to the outside for a little bit. I'd rather them play him at the slot because he's been more effective in the slot. But you never know. I mean, especially if it means moving Kenny to the outside and bringing Nick Cross in and let him play some slot, I might be okay with that because Nick Cross needs some burn. He needs some love. But
if that's the case, they probably go put Julian Blackman at the slot, because last year he
yeah, he plays some
played
slot
slot.
too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But so beef with Ballard or Bradley, what kind of beef do y'all have? I mean, my beef is just the corner position. I don't know like what y'all have right now with either one of them.
I would piggyback off of that. I mean, I definitely would say that corner position. Um, and also just having somebody that could have backed up Grove. Like to me, yeah, you can sign different D tackles, but Grove is mostly like a nose tackle type, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So honestly, to me, we should have signed a player similar to his build and athleticism to back him up, just for, you know, times like this where, if he has to come off the field, you can easily replace him. Yeah, the guy might not have the talents as him, but he can kind of, you know, just be selfish at that point in time where he can come in and just give him some type of breather and we wouldn't have too much of a fall off.
So see, I don't have a issue with that because Eric Johnson would play very well against the run. Like, if you remember, the only time that we had those big runs was when Taven Bryan was in the game, and he's a good pass rusher. Don't get me wrong, he's a good pass rusher, but to replace Grover, Eric Johnson was that guy that like he kind of he played well in the middle. He played really well in the middle, and they wasn't able to run the ball like that when he was out there. And then of course he got hurt, and then yeah,
Yeah,
now we're hoping. Now we hoping
Taven's
he play
good at the
tomorrow.
two. Taven's good at like maybe
He's
a
good
two
at
and a three
Buckner's
technique.
position, the three technique. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
good
two
at
and a,
Buck's position. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm not gonna say I've got much beef with Ballard right now. The Colts have dealt with a lot of really fluky things. Like you lose a guy to gambling, you lose a guy to some ridiculous PED over some chicken additive or whatever it was. A lot of fluky injuries that you can plan for depth as well as you can, but you can't know those things are going to happen. So right now, I'm kind of giving Ballard a little bit of a pass, but I'll reevaluate that when we get to and past the trade deadline, see what he
Yeah.
does or what he doesn't do, and if the roster we have does it and he didn't make moves, then good on him. But if he doesn't make moves and we still see some roster holes, then we can discuss that. But right now, I'm kind of giving him a pass. I'm on Bradley. I'm still not sold on the scheme. We saw a lot of the issues that they're having in the last game. I think you talked about it, Chris. The linebackers are also very feast or famine. And when they're attacking the line, they're doing great things. But when they have to communicate in coverage and hand off to the D backs, that's where we're seeing some big issues. And
Yeah.
and that's on Bradley to me, and that's probably my biggest beef with him right now.
Yeah, that was one of the things I brought up to Dustin because I know Dustin had said something about staying in base defense. And my thing was like if we stay in base defense, I don't know if we have the linebackers that can cover. Like the Jaguars are able to do that because they have nice athletic linebackers that can cover in space. And I'm not saying our linebackers are bad, but we don't have linebackers that are just like elite pass cover, elite in pass coverage. I think Jacksonville has that, so it allows them to stay in base a lot more, a lot more than other teams, or a lot more than us for sure. But I don't think we're a team that can stay in base defense and just allow our linebackers to cover receivers and stuff. I don't think we have that type of talent. I think our linebackers are really good. I just don't think they're not that in the pass game. We've seen multiple times across the middle of the field. Like I said, that's my biggest issue is the hole in the middle of the field in that defense. And we've seen where our linebackers where not that they fail at, but just where they don't necessarily excel the best at those deep crossers and things like that. Anything underneath, I think our linebackers are good in coverage. But when it gets to like 10 to 15 and you got receivers running behind you, they can't really, not that they can't, but they don't excel at that, I should say. Um, you did bring up one thing about the trade deadline, and that's great for the next segment. We're going into the trade deadline, and my question is: are the Colts buyers or sellers at the trade deadline? And I said this earlier, like I think tomorrow will tell us a lot. If we win tomorrow, I think we're buying at the deadline. If we lose tomorrow, we might be sellers. We might, be getting off of some of these contracts and looking to do some things in the off season. to make sure that we have our stuff solidified for the future. And I'm not saying like getting rid of Zaire Franklin or anything, but I'm thinking like maybe you're well, I don't think they can trade Buckner because or not Buckner, but Grove because he's he's suspended. But maybe you get off of a Kenny Moore. You get off of to get some value for that, get a pick for that. Maybe a potential young or a potential player, maybe he probably like a fringe, whatever. But you get off of a Kenny Moore, you get off maybe some of those expiring contracts of Julian Blackman, and then maybe we see Nick Cross get some more burn at that point too. But I think if we lose tomorrow, that's what we're doing. I think if we win tomorrow, then you could see us make a couple moves at the deadline, whether that be Jerry Jeudy, maybe one of them. Kyer Elam from Buffalo, maybe one. I know he ain't been the greatest, but if you can get him for a mid-round pick, then that's a possible thing because he was a first-round talent. So you get him for a mid-round pick, and if he's able to turn it around, then you got another corner out there that you can really use. Especially if you end up getting off of Kenny Moore, like if we don't re-sign him. But then maybe you go get a Uche from the Patriots. I don't know. Like there's a bunch of different moves that can be made. I think if we win tomorrow, and then because we're 500 at that point, and we could possibly still be in the hunt for the playoffs. What do y'all think?
Go ahead, Chip.
I think we're absolutely still in the hunt for the playoff. I said earlier this week we could be looking at the next 3 games being very winnable. Looking at 6-4, and then we go into the bye week, and then we still have a pretty manageable schedule after that. I'm thinking it could very easily come down to a wild card tiebreaker with a team like Cleveland, which is what makes last week so incredibly unfortunate. The Colts miss out on a playoff spot because of a head-to-head tiebreaker of a game that even the NFL has now said the Colts should have won. That's going to be a tough pill to swallow. But I think that the Colts can have the destiny in their own hands at the end of the season. I think they're capable of doing it. I don't know if they will, but they certainly can.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, right now, looking at the playoff standings today, we're in the 11th spot. So, that Browns loss definitely hurt. And, we got an uphill battle. I mean, we still got the Bengals ahead of us, who we have to play later on in the season. And then the Texans, at the very, very end of the season. So, I mean, we can still make some things happen, but, our destiny is in our hands, so, but like you said, tomorrow would definitely be a telltale sign on if we're going to trade anybody. I feel like if you trade somebody like, let's say, Kenny, you're kind of telling everybody what the season is going to be like because we already have, depth problems in the cornerback room, and trading him and possibly bringing in somebody younger or even, just some draft picks. I mean, you kind of are throwing your guys really out there to the wolves, the less experienced guys, whether it be rookies or just players that just haven't had that much experience.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's, I mean, on the offensive side, I really don't see nobody getting traded. One thing I can say is Braden Smith, with how high his contract number is, if it's around the same mark come this offseason, I can see him possibly getting cut. Just
who you say?
Braden Smith.
Oh, okay.
Because he does have a high cap number. So, with how this season has ended, he can possibly become a cap casualty. So I would say amongst him and probably Mo Alley Cox.
That's what Sarah said, that Mo needs to go.
Yeah. I can see them being cap casualties just because, we got other players to sign, and, the tight end room, I mean,
Well, I think this is Mo's last year on his contract. So I mean, even if he stayed, um,
I don't
and,
see us signing
and
him.
that no, I'm saying just stay throughout the year. But I
Yeah,
mean, if that's the case, like if we don't plan on resigning him, then definitely I would trade him, to at least get something for him. You know,
yeah,
actually, hold on, let me see if this is his last year or not. Looking up his contract. Oh no, he actually has one more year. So yeah, I would definitely trade him. Trade
yeah.
him, get something. I don't think after this year we don't have any dead cap. So like we would just take on whatever the remaining on his contract is this year and we would be good. So yeah, no, I'm with you. Yeah, I think our tight end room is pretty damn good. And then especially if Jelani's coming back soon, like you gotta figure out a move to make. And I don't want to see Will Mallory go. I don't want to see Drew Ogletree go. Especially because Drew has turned into probably one of our best blocking tight ends in the run game. I don't want to see Kylen Granson go or Jelani. So Mo is the odd man out.
I agree.
I think you guys know where I stand on the tight ends.
Yeah, for sure. But it's listen, man. It's week 8. It's game week. I did put up the graphic earlier about the people that are going to be out this week. From our injury report, which I believe it was just Juju and Braden.
Nah,
I
Juju,
think.
Kylan, and Brady.
Oh yeah, Kylan is out. That's right. So yeah, Juju, Kylan, and Braden. Those three would be out, which is crazy that Kylan's missing his second game with a concussion. Yeah, so he must still be having some stuff going on.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's Colts week or game week. Colts versus the Saints. The roof is closed this week, man. The roof is closed. I'm guessing it's pretty damn cold over there. Maybe y'all can let me know.
yeah.
Um,
I mean, it's cool, and it's been a little gloomy for the past 2 days. I mean, yesterday it was kind of warm. I actually got to wear shorts.
It's
So
supposed to rain tonight, though, which I suspect is why
that's probably why the
maybe
roof
they
is
have the
closed.
roof closed. Because otherwise, the weather's been perfect. It was like
Oh, okay.
mid 50s and a little breezy, but cloudy today, like perfect fall day.
yeah, it was
It may be that for y'all, but it's been in the 20s here, in Washington.
20s.
Yes, it this morning. It was 26, and I
Damn.
think it got up to like 38 or something like that. I mean, I've been in the house all day. I don't play well with the cold. When I was in Kansas, I dealt with the cold a lot. It would snowed and got into the negatives in Kansas. I don't really get along with the cold, so I stay my black behind in the house during these time of the years, until Tuesday when I had to take my son trick or treating. But other than that, I'm in the house, but the roof is closed.
Yeah.
What?
So there's supposed to be rain tomorrow afternoon.
Okay,
So it's supposed to rain. It's going to be here anytime, and it's supposed to rain until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and it's supposed to start raining again around 2. So
okay,
I'm guessing that's why the roof's closed. Because otherwise, it's low 50s and cloudy.
Well, I
yeah. I
mean,
mean, with the stadium not having drainage and stuff, it's probably better to have the roof closed now because
yeah,
it takes forever for them to open it anyway and
Yeah,
close it
and
and
they
stuff.
they have to make that decision relatively early. I
Yeah.
believe they may even have to make it 24 hours in advance. I can't remember exactly what it is.
Well, I
I'm
saw it
pretty
because
sure it's
I'm
close.
pretty sure it's 24 hours because I saw Jim announce it today that it was closed.
Yeah, he always announces it the day before.
Yeah, so I'm pretty sure it's like, 24, 48 hours before, the game day they make that decision. So what's y'all feeling about the game, man? Like how y'all feeling about this game? I know the Saints may have some players not available just because of illness or whatever. But how y'all feeling ultimately about this game?
I'm feeling irrationally good about this game, and I've said it all along. I think the Colts come out with a chip on their shoulder. They want to prove something. They want to get back on the right side on the win loss record. And I'm sticking with my 41-3. It makes no sense. It is irrational, but I'm going with it.
Um,
So,
go ahead.
oh, what's up, Boom? Nah, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. I was looking at the injury report.
Okay, so for me, I mean, I feel like we win this game. I do think it's a very winnable game. I don't think that, for me, I don't think the Saints' offense is really that good, and most of the reason is because Derek Carr, sorry ass, um, Alvin Kam- Alvin. You know what kills me? What really kills me is that I might go on a little tangent here, but what really kills me is that the past few years, the Colts fan base has wanted these sorry ass quarterbacks to be our quarterback. You had Russell Wilson became available. Everybody wanted to go get Russell Wilson. We saw that play out last year, and it was a good choice not to get Russell Wilson because we would be in hell just like the Broncos are right now. They wanted this year, this offseason, they wanted Derek Carr. Before before like we did all the like quarterback, rookie quarterback thing, people wanted Derek Carr. Like, let's take a shot at Derek Carr and then just build, something else in the draft, whatever.
Yeah,
We see Derek Carr.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with this fan base, man. I mean, maybe it's just been the last couple of years because we've had some mid quarterbacks, and so maybe it's hard to take off the blinders and just be like, "Oh, well, this quarterback's mid too, but now he may be better than Carson Wentz was, or he may be better than Matt Ryan was last year." No, they're all terrible. And that's the reason why I think we win this game tomorrow because Derek Carr has not been good this season. He has looked extremely bad. Alvin Kamara has, since he's been back, he's been amazing. But Derek Carr has just not been good. Then you have their defense, who I think they're a really good defense, but I don't know what it's been. When we've played these elite defenses, we've been able to like bring them back to earth a little bit. Besides maybe the Ravens, because we only put up like 19, or maybe no, we put up 21 points against the Ravens, or 20 points against the Ravens. But we've been able to put pull these defenses back down to earth a little bit. We put up 38 against a Browns defense that had only given up 2 touchdowns over the course of the season. We put up over 400 yards against a Browns defense that came into that game only allowing 200 yards a game. Shane he has his flaws, right? Just like any coach, but he's been doing the damn thing. And I think he comes out. I think he's learned some things over the past 2 games. And I think he comes out and puts those to the test against the Saints this week. And I think we get a dub. I think our defense, Zaire, Speed, Darius, or Shaq, my bad, Shaq, I think they come out with a huge chip on their shoulder this week. And Sarah said it, Dennis Allen sucks as a coach. So so I think we really have a good shot to win this game this week, man. What's up, Boom? Where you at with it?
I mean, just looking at their schedule, I mean, their 3 wins come against the Titans, Panthers, and the Patriots. I mean, those are 3 to me lower level teams
for sure.
And their losses, they got the Jaguars, the Texans, the Bucks, and the Packers. And in their last 3 losses, the teams have scored over 20 points. So, and they've only scored over 20 points once in the past. Really, they've only scored over 20 points just once all season.
Who, the Saints?
Yeah, the Saints.
Who was that against?
The Jaguars last week.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and before that, the most points they had scored all year was 20. Yeah, 20.
Yeah, because that was 20 against the Panthers. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like.
Oh no, they scored 34 against the Patriots.
Okay, well, yeah. That's the Patriots, though. I mean, Patriots, yeah. I mean, but at the same time, it's like
we'll see soon.
If you how it's looking, I mean, they just don't have. To me, they don't have the right chemistry on their offense. Because if that was the case, they would have multiple games over 25 points. Because when you have Michael Thomas on one side and Chris Olave on the other side with Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams in the backfield, how can you not score more than 20 points multiple times on the year? Actually more than, I would say, 25 points multiple times on the year. And I mean, our defense, when we've been good, where we didn't have to deal with turnovers and short fields and things like that, we've been decent. We've been pretty good. And like I said, Michael Thomas is questionable tomorrow with the illness. So that leaves up a lot to David Carr to having to find playmakers within the offense. But with our defense, the way we run our cover 3, I feel like he might be able to dink and dunk like multiple quarterbacks have done. All that stuff under 10 yards to just keep driving the ball down the field and getting points. So we have to really dial up that pressure. Gus is going to have to
Yeah.
start some blitzes and things. Just keeping stuff exotic, making Derek Carr have to make the right plays, have to get that ball out quick. And like I said, he's dealing with an injury right now. I want to say it's like a groin or something like that.
Who,
Uh,
Derek Carr or?
Derek Carr, yeah,
Oh, okay. And
yeah,
I know he still got the shoulder joint going on with him.
yeah. He's banged up, so we got to send them. We got to send them dogs, man.
Yeah,
I don't,
I think we need to blitz a little bit this game.
yeah. I don't wish no injury on nobody, but we got to send them dogs to resonate that PTSD in his mind.
Yeah, you got to knock him down.
Our pass rush needs to have their best game of the season. And I don't know if you have that stat handy, Chris, but I saw it this week where the Colts pass rush has been landing at the very top in terms of percentage of pass plays.
Yeah.
And they've been blitzing almost at the bottom. So they are actually getting home a lot.
Yeah,
even
they are
without
getting
blitzing.
home. Yeah, they are getting home. I believe we're either top 10 or top 5 in sacks this year. I believe it's top 10. Like we're close, like in sacks this year. I'm trying to look for this because I did tweet something out the other day because a lot was being talked about our defense on Twitter. Yeah, here we go. A lot was being talked about on our defense, and actually no, that's not it. But a lot has been talked about with our defense and about how like, oh, we can't get stops when it matters, and we can't get stops after turnovers and stuff like that, or at least hold them to 3 points when we've actually done that a lot this year. Um, and when you really look at it, our defense hasn't really given up as many points as people think per game. I think it's somewhere around 20 points per game we've given up. It's somewhere around there. But I think if we can hold them under 20 points, if our offense doesn't put our defense in any bad situation this game, we can really we can really, we could like beat the hell out of the Saints. Which I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping we do because I can't take another loss. I mean, I still think we can get to our because like I said, our floor was 6 wins for me. I think we can still get there, but I just can't deal with another loss, man. I can't do it.
I
Not
think,
we're too talented.
yeah, yeah. I think if we can go into the bye week 5-4, I think that'll be a real nice win for the beginning of the season.
Yeah. Yeah. If we can go in, if we because what do we have we got the Patriots after this game?
Yep, and then it's
Oh
the
no,
bye.
no, we got the Panthers and then the Patriots.
Oh shit, yeah.
Yeah, we
I
got
didn't
the
even.
Panthers and then the Patriots.
Okay,
Hey, if we can go in 6 and
6 and
4,
4.
or I mean, I'd even be cool with 5 and 5. Like if we can at least go in at 500 or better, I I think that's pretty good. If we can go in at least 500 or better, I think that's pretty good. Oh yeah, here we go. Like so, week 1 we gave up 31 points. Week 2 we gave up 20. Week 3 we gave up 17. Then week 4, when you look at the Rams game, we gave up 20 points in the first half, and 3 of those came at the Anthony Richardson fumble. But in the second half, they only gave up 3 points, and then they gave up the touchdown in overtime. So they really only gave up around 26 points or something like that. Um, then week 5, we gave up 16 to the Ravens. Um, but our defense has been playing really, really well. Like I said, I believe like through all of these weeks, we've only given up somewhere around 20, 22 points per game.
27.3 right now.
Yeah, but that's including like the turnovers and the short
Yeah.
fields and stuff like that, and
So-
the touchdowns in the end zone.
So
That
the last
old
3
boy's giving
games,
up.
they've been giving up almost 31 points a game. For the season, they're at 27.3. If you just factor out the 37 points on turnovers they've given up the last 2 weeks, then they'd be looking at about 22 points a game.
Yeah,
I didn't look at the rest of the season or any points off of turnover. Just the last 2 games alone has made
for
a
sure.
5 points per game for the season difference.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, because even the game against the Jaguars, we lost by 17 points. 17 of those points came after turnovers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, like we lost because of the turnovers. It's just it's just the nature of the beast, I guess. But I didn't have anything else, man. Short, sweet, to the point. Since everybody wasn't on, we finished up a little quicker.
Yeah.
Um, but now, did y'all have anything else y'all wanted to discuss or talk about or go over?
I'm cool, man. We just gotta win. We gotta win tomorrow, man. If anything, I got us winning by 5.
Winning by 5.
Okay, that's not bad.
So
It's not bad at all.
I saw today that in addition to finding MPJ $11,000 for throwing deuces on a touchdown run, which I thought was ridiculous, they also charged Buck $16,000 for his hit on Walker on a play where he was airborne coming straight up at him, and I don't know what he could have possibly done different.
Hold on, who was airborne? PJ Walker or Buckner?
No, Buckner. Like he was. He went airborne to try to make the tackle right before he threw. He didn't drive him to the ground or anything. I don't know. Did he give him $16,000 fine because maybe there was incidental helmet contact or something?
Yeah, that's what
It's
it
rough.
was, because of the helmet contact. Because that's why they caught the flag, was because of the helmet contact.
Oh, before we go, how did y'all feel about Michael Pittman's comments after the game?
Totally good with him at the time. Because like I said then, I thought it was the emotions talking, the frustration of the game. And then he came back and clarified it and owned up to it, explained it, and I was 100% good before his comments. I'm equally 100% good after his comments.
It's just one of those things when you're the number one wide receiver on the team, teams are going to key for you. I mean, they're going to try to take you away, so you got to understand that. But your other teammates got to also show up, because then
which
that's
Josh
when
Downs did in a huge way.
Yeah, that's I would feel that type of way if I'm getting taken out the game, like they're double and triple and me, I need you other guys to be doing your job, because if y'all don't, we go lose. And then at that point, I will feel them like, nah, give me the ball, fuck it, just
throw it up.
Did you see his follow-up comments?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Basically, he said that was he's kind of a bad sport and he doesn't lose well, and that was basically that what was talking. And he acknowledged that he's led the team in targets and he's happy with his role and where he is and what he's doing. And I'm good at that. He's a competitor.
Yeah, I just think he wanted to be able to do more for the team to help the team win at the time. And I mean, to be honest, he had 5 targets, right? Josh Downs, I think, had 6. MPJ had 5, and he had two receptions for 100 and something yards and a touchdown. But I think it's one of those things where out of those 5 targets, he caught 2, but the other 3, one was an interception, one was all the way behind Michael Pittman Jr., and the other one, I think, was into double coverage at the end of the game where the DB just came and knocked the ball down. So they were terrible throws. And I mean, it's just one of those things where it's like you're kind of frustrated with that too. And part of me feels like it was really kind of pointed towards Gardner, but you don't want to throw your quarterback under the bus at the same time too.
Yeah.
So, but nah, I'm okay with the comments. He was frustrated, just like half the fan base was frustrated after the game. He was frustrated after the game because it was a tough loss. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people in that facility was frustrated after the game. So I don't really have any qualms about what he said. He's a competitor.
And this isn't a comment. Was it Zach Hicks who got the comments, or Joel who got the comments from him?
I don't remember. I think it was Joel that got the comment.
So, and I don't really hold it against Joel. He was just doing his job as a reporter. But I think there's a general sense from fans after what happened with JT that the fans have zero tolerance with the media trying to drum up drama. And I think the general response to the article and comments about MPJ's comments was kind of meh. It just, fans took it as, oh, look, they're trying to stir up more drama. So I think it was a tempest in a teapot.
Yeah, no, I feel that. All right, man. Like I said, that's all I had. Just wanted to ask y'all about, the MPJ comments because I had just remembered before we got off. But to everybody out there, make sure y'all join the PSF app. The link will be in the description on the YouTube channel. Make sure y'all join that. Tomorrow we will be live, and I will finally be here to be able to be live because my son does not have a football game tomorrow.
Hey.
The season is over.
Yep.
So
And if you guys jump in there, you can join the voice chat too. You can get in and talk with us live during the game, and it's actually a lot of fun. Great way to watch
a lot
the
of
game
fun.
together.
A lot of fun.
Just make sure your mom's not at home.
If you're Boom, definitely make sure your mom's not at home.
No, not me. The other dude, he said his mom almost killed him because he was yelling.
Oh.
No, I live by myself, baby. I can scream all I want.
If he was dropping the bombs the way you were, I can understand why his mom was having a problem with it.
But yeah, be sure y'all join us tomorrow, man. We have a lot of fun on there. I'll be there, Chip will be there, Boom will be there. We're gonna be live and in color, live and direct during the game, being able to give y'all some live game commentary. So yeah, make sure y'all in there. But yeah, until next time, man, y'all be easy. Gotta check up the deuce for my guy Michael Pittman Jr., man.
11,000 right there.
Roger, hold on to the fucking ball.